On the night of October 1st, 2024, the sky above the Negev desert lit up with fire. 180 ballistic missiles, launched from 1,000 kilometers away, streaked toward one of the most protected places on Earth. Not a city, not a government building, but an airbase in southern Israel called Nevatim, home to 3 squadrons of F-35 stealth fighters, each worth over $100 million. Israel's crown jewel, the tip of the spear that was supposed to guarantee air supremacy across the Middle East for the next 50 years. And when the smoke cleared, something had changed. Not because the base was destroyed, but because the missiles got through. Welcome to the financial system. Control the money, control the history. And remember, simple is never easy. This is not a story about technology. It's not a story about geopolitics, not really. This is a story about money, about the cold arithmetic of modern warfare, about a trap that no amount of engineering genius or defense spending can escape. Because what happened over Nevatim exposed a financial reality that militaries around the world have known for years but never wanted to say out loud. Defense is losing the cost war. And in that single fact lies the seed of something far more dangerous. To understand why this matters, you first have to understand what Nevatim represents. This is not just another military installation. It is the largest and most critical facility in the Israeli Air Force. 3 runways, hardened hangars, underground command centers, and, most importantly, the only place in Israel where the F-35I Adir is stationed, the customized Israeli version of America's most advanced stealth fighter. Israel was the first country outside the United States to operate the F-35 in combat. In 2018, it became the first nation to use the aircraft in actual strikes. The F-35 can penetrate any airspace in the Middle East virtually undetected. It generates its own intelligence, it destroys air defenses before they even know it's there, and it costs, at minimum, $100 million per aircraft. Israel currently operates around 36 of them, with plans to expand to 75. That fleet alone represents over $7 billion of offensive capability, and it all sits inside the perimeter of Nevatim. So when Iran launched its attack on October 1st, it was not random. The targeting was deliberate. Nevatim was listed publicly by Iranian military officials as the primary objective, the same base from which Israeli jets had launched strikes against Hezbollah and allegedly against Iranian assets in Syria. Iran's message was simple: your crown jewel is within our reach. But the real message wasn't political, it was financial, because Iran did not need to destroy the base to prove its point. All it had to do was overwhelm the math. Here is where the economics become brutal. Israel operates one of the most sophisticated air defense networks on the planet. At the outer layer sits the Arrow system, Arrow 2 and Arrow 3, designed to intercept ballistic missiles either in the upper atmosphere or in space. Arrow 3, the more advanced version, costs approximately $3 to $4 million per interceptor. Arrow 2 costs around $2 to $3 million. Behind that sits David's Sling, which handles cruise missiles and shorter-range threats. Each interceptor there runs about $1 million. And at the innermost layer is the Iron Dome, famous for its stunning interception rates against Hamas rockets, at $50,000 per shot. These numbers sound manageable in isolation, but multiply them across a sustained barrage and the picture changes. Iran launched approximately 180 ballistic missiles at Israel that night. Experts estimate that each Iranian missile, advanced models like the Shahed, the Ahmad, and even variants of the Fatah, cost between $200,000 and $1 million to produce. Let's take the higher estimate, $1 million per missile. That means Iran spent roughly $180 million on the attack. Israel, defending against it, likely spent over $450 million in interceptors alone, and that's not counting the cost of fighter jets airborne, fuel burned, or emergency logistics. In a single night, Defense cost more than double the offense. But the true problem isn't the money. The true problem is capacity. Arrow missiles are not produced like iPhone cases. They take years to manufacture. According to public estimates, global production of advanced interceptors runs in the dozens per year, not thousands. The United States, which has deployed its THAAD battery in Israel as a backup, produces roughly 12 interceptors annually. Each one costs approximately $12 to $15 million. When 32 Iranian missiles struck Nevatim, confirmed impacts that damaged hangars, cratered runways, and hit taxiways, the question was no longer, can Israel defend itself? The question became, for how long? The satellite images told the story. 32 impact points across Nevatim Airbase, hangars damaged, a crater on the runway, storage facilities struck. The Israeli military insisted no F-35s were harmed, that all jets were scrambled before impact, that the base remained operational. And that may be true, but analysts noted something else. The missiles that hit Nevatim were not intercepted, not because the arrow failed, but possibly because Israel chose not to defend it. Why? Because interceptors are too expensive and too scarce to waste on an airbase that can be repaired. The cost of fixing a hangar is far lower than the cost of using an arrow missile, and if that logic is correct, it reveals a terrifying strategic shift. Iran has figured out the math. Its doctrine now centers on what analysts call attrition through abundance. Saturate the air with threats. Mix drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles in overlapping waves. Force the defender to spend millions on each interception while the attacker spends thousands. A Shahed drone, the slow, cheap one-way munition that Russia now uses against Ukraine, costs Iran between $20,000 and $50,000 to produce. The interceptor to shoot it down costs between $1 and $12 million. That ratio, 50 to 1, sometimes worse, means the attacker can always afford to fire more, and eventually something gets through. This is the financial trap no one wants to admit. Missile defense, no matter how advanced, operates under the economics of depletion. Every interceptor fired is one fewer in the stockpile. Every attack drains the defender faster than the attacker. And the production timelines are measured in years, not months. After Iran's barrage, estimates suggest the U.S. THAAD battery in Israel was nearly out of interceptors, having fired close to its full loadout in a single night. Replacing those missiles could take 3 to 8 years at current production rates. If Iran fires again next month, next year, or continuously for a week, what then? History does not repeat, but it does rhyme. The same financial logic that once decided who won and lost empires is now unfolding in the skies above the Middle East. Defense is more expensive than offense. Interception is slower than production. Iran cannot match Israel's technology, but it doesn't need to. It only needs to outlast its interceptor supply. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe. Its financial system and history leaves clues. I show you where the money leads.